Presidential hopefuls are making their way to the pivotal state of South Carolina. Its primary is still about 10 months away. Marco Rubio will be there this weekend. Jeb Bush visited the state just days ago. And since 1980, all but one of South Carolina's primary winners went on to the Republican nomination. And that means the backing of Governor Nikki Haley could change the political dynamic. She spoke only to CBS This Morning. Will you endorse a candidate before the primary?
I did last time, and so I haven't necessarily decided this time, but I'm not ruling it out. You know, if there's somebody that I really want to fight for, I'll definitely get out there.
4 years ago, Nikki Haley was dubbed the new face of the Republican Party, the first female minority governor in the South and the youngest in the nation. Today, she stands poised to narrow the field of GOP hopefuls.
You expect to see a lot of Republican candidates here in South Carolina in the next couple of months?
I know that we will have a lot, and we will welcome them.
Haley has strong ties to all the GOP governors thinking about jumping in. But ever the politician was careful not to choose sides just yet.
Jeb Bush has been a mentor to you over many years. What would make him a good president?
Jeb Bush was very kind to me in a time when I needed it. He's always kind of been that person I could call whenever something came up.
You are a big fan of Governor Scott Walker.
I am. He's a dear friend. You know, we've got a lot of friends that are running.
But you and Governor Walker are a lot alike in the sense that you have both fought the unions.
Yes.
And Governor Walker is leading in the polls in your state in terms of a Republican primary race for president. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. He's come in, he's rolled up his sleeves, he's gone out there and he's talked to people, and I think he's going to continue to do that.
Haley is one of only 3 female Republican governors nationwide and will no doubt play a larger role in her party's efforts to attract new voters. 2012's presidential election was the largest gender gap ever.
The next president of the United States.
Mitt Romney lost female voters by 12%.
Does the Republican Party have a problem with women voters?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you look at the Republican women governors that are all fantastic.
But if the Democratic Party has a woman on their ticket, like Hillary Clinton, is the Republican Party going to need a woman on their ticket?
I don't think so. And I think it's fantastic that we're going to have a woman on the ticket. I don't have a single policy that I think I agree with Hillary Clinton on, but I respect the fact that she's put herself out there. I respect the fact that she's going to do this.
Haley had to put herself out too early in life. Her parents were immigrants from India who moved to the tiny town of Bamberg, South Carolina, in search of the American dream, at a time when she says people there only knew 2 colors, black and white.
What did you learn from that?
That people categorize people very quickly, and labels meant something. And I always grew up not wanting to be a label. And so very quickly it was about proving. And I learned that it's not what you say, it's what you do. And results can change all labels.
It's that ability to work through differences that served Haley well last month, when a white police officer shot and killed an unarmed black man in North Charleston.
I want to ask you about the issue of race and police, because you've seen what's happening in Baltimore, and the issue of Walter Scott here in South Carolina. What is going on?
The difference between South Carolina and the difference between what is happening in Baltimore is it was all hands on deck. It was transparency and communication. There's always going to be someone that disappoints us. But what we can do is how we respond to it. And responding to it with transparency and communication is what's needed in every state. Every person deserves to know the truth.
Now, 43 years old and a 2-term governor, presiding over one of the fastest growing states, Haley's proud that her whole life has been about defying expectations.
You say being an underdog is the best thing that ever happened to you. How so?
I've never known what it's like to not be the underdog. I've never known what it's like to not have people underestimate me. It gives you a passion to want to prove things, and it gives people the element of surprise when you do, so it makes it fun.
I think she is sort of underestimated and an underdog. She's sort of been out of the national spotlight for a while, and she's got an impressive record in South Carolina in terms of when she took over, the state was $1 billion in debt. Now there's a surplus. She's instituted ethics reforms. That state is growing like crazy. I mean, lots of new people going to the state.
What's the downside for her?
You know, I think the downside is whether she wants to put her family through, if she were picked for a vice presidential ticket, whether she wants to put her family through that and some of the inevitable criticism of her, her personal and private life. And she's 43 years old. She's still very young.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's very young.
Yeah.
I've always believed it's better to be underestimated and over-delivered.
Ronald Reagan said that.
Always,
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan always say the best thing he had going for him in politics is that they underestimated him.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
over-deliver.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou said that to me, too, once. I think it's good advice.